when they're booking her and she's looking at an Alexa Bliss and she's thinking about this as a shoot, and she's looking at Becky and she's thinking that like she knows she can destroy these girls. So it was very, very, very hard for her, I think, to make that transition over.
Let's talk about Ronda Rousey recently taking a shot at Alexa Bliss, talking about she, the only reason why she went against her was because Alexa Bliss was a top merch seller. And she said the fact that they had me fighting Alexa Bliss at all was effing ridiculous. And you want to know why they had me against Alexa Bliss? Because she had the most merch sales all the time. Like, what the F? Like, that's your decision-making process? And she wasn't done. She went after Becky Lynch as well. And she said, regarding Becky Lynch, she she also said, it was proposed that I tap out to her armbar at Survivor Series. And I said, my mother would disown me. Anytime anyone's actually ever armbarred me in real life, I just let them dislocate it and I limp arm out. That's why my ligaments are all effed up in this arm. So I'm not going to do it. Anytime anyone ever choked me out in competition, I just went out and I don't tap, mother effer. That's how it is. And then Booker T replied, dog. He said, Booker T, he said, I think the wrestling world opened the doors to her and she just spit in the face of professional wrestling. That's what she's done. There's a reason why people don't like you. You know what I mean? I don't hear any of her old comrades in the UFC saying anything good about Ronda Rousey. Man, it would be great to have Ronda Rousey back for a reunion. Oh, it would be great to have Ronda here as an ambassador. Or it'd be great to hear hear Ronda do some commentary. Nobody cares about Ronda Rousey but herself, dog. Vince, man, what is going on? Ronda Rousey has been known that every time, there's been other times away from the WWE that she's just shooting with the WWE and just laying it out of how disappointed she is. What the heck was she expecting in the business, and why does it seem she's so bitter about what she received?
Bro, you got to look at where she was at that point in her life. Bro, she's just coming off of 2 losses. She was unbeatable. Then she lost 2 back-to-back, and the last one she got destroyed by that Amanda. She got destroyed. Yeah. So now in her mind, like, bro, just having to deal with that. I mean, that she didn't just lose. That was embarrassing. And she lost the last 2 fights on the way out. So in her mind, she's looking at wrestling as a way to rebuild her career in wrestling. But that's not what the WWE is looking for. I mean, the WWE, to them at that point, she's just another name on the roster. I mean, that's pretty much all she is. But she was really expecting to build her career on a different platform. And then, when they're booking her and she's looking at an Alexa Bliss and she's thinking about this as a shoot, and she's looking at Becky and she's thinking that like she knows she can destroy these girls. So it was very, very, very hard for her, I think, to make that transition over. I mean, some people have done it, seamlessly, like, Shamrock, you know what I mean? But I think it was very, very, very difficult for her to make that transition over, man.
I think so too, man. It's an unfortunate story for Rousey. She had so much star power. It's unfortunate for a lot of people who actually watch wrestling to see that you had Triple H beat Sting at WrestleMania 31 in California, just for like moments later in a segment you build up Triple H and Stephanie McMahon against The Rock and Ronda Rousey. And so that didn't manifest until 3 years later when it was end up being Rousey and Angle against Stephanie and Tripp. And so I think with Ronda Rousey, the hype that came with her it made her feel better about just her lot in life at the point.
I agree
because
with
I
that.
think
I agree with
yeah,
that.
I think that helped her feel more important because you could tell you heard that in the interviews, man. She was like depressed and she was just really thinking about, just her status of life and she was, I mean, it got really dark for her, man.
Yeah.
And she got destroyed by Amanda Nunes. And she was a huge, favorite against Holly Holm and got knocked out by her. And it was just a two fight. It switched so much from top of the world to just a plummet to her. Yeah. And that really hurt her. That demoralized her, man.
And bro, it too. You can come in at the WWE on top of the world, and that can change quickly. And bro, if you remember, bro, like early on, she wasn't like in the house shows and stuff. When stuff like that happens, they can sour on her immediately. And all of a sudden, she's not getting this special treatment and people aren't bowing down to her. And I think she experienced a lot of that.
Yeah, it makes me wonder if she was complaining about receiving, not receiving that type of preferential, star treatment in the WWE. I mean, hey, man, look, you got some cachet coming from UFC, but if you're not cutting it, you're going to be humbled just like everybody else, man. If you're not drawing, and people soured on her quick, man. It's unfortunate. Why do you think the fans soured on her so much?
I don't know, bro. I don't know. I was going to throw out there maybe just because she came from the UFC world, but others have come from the UFC world.
Yeah,
and
she was over when she came. Yeah,
I don't know. I don't know, bro. Maybe just about a lot of the things she was saying, she was saying online and stuff at the time.
I think I started to notice a turn in the fans when they weren't happy with her promo work, and they did feel that her there wasn't a lot of progression in the ring. There was a lot of just judo, throws and a lot of like mat wrestling maneuvers, teasing the finish and things like that. And I think the monotony and the one dimension type of work that she had for so long, I think fans just started to sour on her. And I started to notice that people, when she was cutting just like those stone-faced, she would come out smiling and then she would cut stone-faced promos. And so it just didn't feel authentic. And you know how pro wrestling fans is, they'll eat you up and spit you out, on the way back to UFC. And it looks like they just didn't have any interest in her, man. Yeah. And I think the second run was even worse than the first one too. Like it was bad. The second one, man. She came back, and then at the very end, she was feuding with Shayna Baszler, and they were both heels. And that SummerSlam match was just super dry and odd. It just didn't work, man. So now she's just going to talk about the frustrations of WWE, and maybe she'll make some money doing some shoot interviews and making a YouTube page of doing shoot stuff. Hey, we're talking about her, so I'm guessing it's working in some way, man.